This is a lesson for young ballers I wish I had when growing up. If you're a young baller, a young athlete that is dreaming of big things, this is truly the thing I wish I knew in your situation. And that's why I want you to know this. As a young athlete, the single most important thing is to take care of your body. You're now on your way to become what you want to be. You're progressing, you're getting better skill-wise, you're getting faster. It's all working, and you have that big goal in mind. Now, what is the one thing that could potentially just fuck it all up for you? What is the one thing that could break your career right now without you having an influence on it? What is the thing that holds so many talented ballers back? It's their body. It's simply their body, and it's no coincidence that even at the professional level, where you've kind of already reached what you wanted, you're already at a professional level, even there, the thing that is ending careers most often is an injury. You won't believe it, but a study has shown that 62.9% of professional footballing careers end because of injury. Whether it's an acute injury or an overuse injury and chronic injury, 62.9%. It's crazy. And the reason I'm telling you this is because nowadays the pressure of getting better, being good enough is just so high. The business is ruthless. If you're not good enough, you're gone. If you're not skillful enough, you're gone. That's why the focus on getting better, developing your skill, getting faster is just so high. And all we want to do is just get faster, develop our skill. That's our main focus, and it's completely understandable and it works, but only until you get your first injury. That's when it's all gone. All you've worked up to is just gone. And probably no one's gonna care about you anymore. Yeah, it's the hard truth, but I had to realize this as well. And the thing is that we all know, you know, that just preventing injuries isn't going to get you where you want to be. Without developing your skill, without developing your athleticism, you're going nowhere. And I wouldn't want to just prevent injuries without actually making progress in athleticism and skill either. I wouldn't want that, but I had to realize, and you need to realize as well, if you think about it, where you want to get. If you think about where you want to get, think about the number one reason that could prevent you from actually getting there. And solve that first, having a look at that first, making sure that's all right. And that reason is your body. If your body doesn't want, your body doesn't want. You can have the most dedicated mindset on earth. You can be David Goggins 2.0, literally. I don't care. Forget about it. If your body doesn't want, forget about it. That's why before thinking about getting to that elite level, to that high level and chasing only that, forgetting everything else, think about the number one reason that could actually prevent you from getting there. And I know you might be thinking right now, this guy, he's making it too important. It isn't really that big of a deal either. I just gotta get better with the ball and that's it. If you're thinking like that, I genuinely encourage you to take a step back now and realize this. What you really need is a body with a foundation that allows you to do all of this, that allows you to get more skillful, that allows you to get more athletic, that in the end allows you to build up to where you want to get. And it really isn't as complicated as you might be thinking once you're doing the right stuff. I'm going to show you later some exercises, 10 exercises you need to master, and that's it. That's going to set you up for success. Just think about it like this. If you want to build something big, the foundation has to be strong enough to support all you're building on top of it. So you can't just go and try and build a big ass house on the foundation of a swimming pool. Or take this example. There's one guy. He is taking his time to build the foundation. The other guy just rushes into it, builds a crappy foundation and starts building on top of it. First, it might seem that this guy that didn't take his time to build the foundation is actually making faster progress. His building is already getting far, getting higher. Okay. And this guy is still building the foundation. Seems that this guy is getting better off. But in the long term, once this guy is building so much on top of it that the foundation can't handle it anymore, it's going to break down. And that's when this guy over here that took his time to build the foundation and now can build as much as he wants on top of that, he's going to overtake this guy over here in the long term. And that's what you got to realize as well. We're playing the long game. We're not playing a short game. Getting to a professional career or whatever you want to get to that high level, you think long term. That's what I needed to realize as well. And it's tempting to, I know it's tempting to just think about this guy, okay, just doing the plyometrics to quickly get faster, but actually all the force you can now produce, your body can't even handle. And then you start breaking down, you're tearing ligaments, your joints can't handle it. And I don't want you to experience that. It's really not nice, and you can do it better. If all of this made sense to you up until now, and now the question is, how do you do that? How do you build that foundation? I got you. Recently, a lot of young guys have asked me what to do, how to implement this stuff in their training. What are the most important exercises to do? And I love that because that's one of the reasons I made this video, and I hope it's going to help a lot of other young athletes out there. So if I was to go back, build up a foundation to be able to build on top of that and not get stuck in an endless cycle of injury after injury after injury, these are the exact 10 exercises I would do. Beginning with the classic pull-up for upper body strength. This is probably nothing new and totally makes sense to train your upper body. Being able to move your own body weight with ease is what makes a good athlete in the end. But let me ask you this. How much time have you spent lifting your body weight with your hamstrings? Let's say you can do 5 pull-ups. Now you want to be able to do 5 strict Marty St. Louis Nordics. And this is something you have to work hard for. It's not going to be easy. Even me, having worked on Nordics for 10 months now, I'm only at one kind of strict Marty St. Louis Nordic. So I have a long way to go to match my pull-up strength as well. But trust me, the time you invest into that exercise is so worth it. And by mastering this exercise, you will not only lower the risk of ACL tears and hamstring strains, but also increase your speed, as the hamstrings are your greatest point of force for horizontal speed. I actually break this exercise down in this video, so make sure to check that out. But honestly, you don't even need to know anything more than that. If you're not repping them out like crazy yet, you're simply leaving out on your athletic potential. Next up, we have some full range push-ups. Full range because we want more gains while also making you more protected. And by challenging your shoulders and pecs into this range, you make them more resilient and you don't end up with a stiff bodybuilder upper body. Actually, when you look at elite sprinters like Usain Bolt, they do have this kind of shoulder mobility. Then for bulletproof knees, you get on a slant board and squat to full depth. This actually forces you to use your knee strength as they get pushed over your toes. And using your knees through that full range is what so many athletes unfortunately miss. As in the sport itself, you don't get into these positions. But to maintain a healthy knee, a healthy joint, you actually need to use it. If not, you lose it. And unfortunately, a sport like football is not maintaining our knees. It's rather wearing them down. And that's why 35% of retired footballers end up with arthritis in their knee. That's why doing something that maintains your knee health, something like deep squats, may be that thing that makes or breaks your career. Now, as you develop strong legs, you also want to be able to pick them up with as little effort as possible. And that's where the L-sit comes in. It targets your hip flexors as they work really hard to keep your legs off the ground. And typically, light-footed players are significantly better at this. But just test it out yourself. The goal is to hold one for at least 30 seconds. And the thing with the hip flexors is that due to the modern lifestyle, they're not only weak, but also tight. And by getting a flat ground ATG split squat, this will no longer be any issue. In this position, the hip flexors get stretched under load and therefore gets not only longer, but also stronger. And now you're getting closer to the body that allows you to be athletic. Just think that the faster you can pick up your legs, the higher the step frequency, the higher your speed. And this is proven by studies that have also found that the muscle with the biggest difference between average Jeffries and elite sprinters is the hip flexors. So there's literally no reason not to get extremely strong here. What we cannot forget about now that we have strong legs, hips, and upper body are your lower legs. And I'm hoping you're already doing straight leg calf raises. That's why I'm showing you the other, and in my opinion, more important way to train your calf. With a knee over toe calf raise, you're targeting the deeper calf muscle, the soleus. It's actually the strongest pulling muscle in your entire body if you make a pound for pound comparison. And it's also helping you to protect your strongest tendon, the Achilles tendon. And now that we've trained the calf and protected the backside of our ankle, of course we cannot forget about the front. And that's where the Tib Raise plays a really important role, because it targets your tibialis anterior muscle, the muscle that runs down the front of your shin and connects on the inside of your foot. This one is key to support your ankle, prevent shin splints, and prevent excessive forces from moving up to your knee and doing damage there. Having ankles and lower legs that are strong compared to the rest of your body is absolute key. I mean, you wouldn't want to have the strength of an elephant, but be walking around with the tiny legs of a chicken, wouldn't you? The second last exercise is back extension to further train your hip extensors and your low back strength without any need of loading to begin with. Always going down completely and at the top, squeezing the glutes rather than overextending the back. Hip extension, hamstrings, glutes, low back, this is the powerhouse of your body. And with this move, you can start to train that all together without even having to use weights to begin with. And last but not least, the probably most sport-specific exercise, sled. This builds from the ground up, beginning at your feet all the way up to your glutes. The absolute key here is to sled as much backwards as you go forwards. Why? Because you want to have equally strong decelerators as you have accelerators. The magic of backward sled is that it can reverse out knee pain step by step. By going backwards with the resistance that's comfortable and pain-free for you, you bring blood flow and healing to that area while strengthening the knee on every step. An easy alternative to that is to walk backwards on a turned off treadmill or walk backwards up a hill. Each of these exercises scales to virtually any level so that no matter where you're at right now, you can start your journey right here, right now. With the pull-up, you can start by just fighting down the eccentric of the movement. With the Nordics, you can regress by putting something in front of you and fighting down the eccentric until you hit that object. For push-ups, just start higher than on flat ground. For slant board squats, you can assist yourself when going down. For L-sits, you can begin by sitting on the floor and lifting one leg at a time. For split squats, you can elevate your front foot. For the single leg knee over toe calf raise, just perform it on two legs. For the Tib raises, start by leaning onto a wall and doing the same movement there. And for the back extensions, assist yourself with your hands. For sledding, you will automatically find your own level that's challenging enough but still pain-free. All 10 of these exercises feature in the Young Athlete Roadmap program from Ben Patrick, aka Knees Over Toes Guy. I really love how simple he's kept it and how much sense it makes, and that's why I also program all of these exercises for each of my athletes as well. The sets and frequency, of course, always depend on your situation, so if you need any help with that, shoot me a message on Instagram. The link to it is in my video description. And I'm telling you, mastering these 10 exercises will not only put you ahead of your competition, but most importantly, they will make sure to build up a solid foundation that isn't just able to perform well, but also to make you capable, to make you more capable to handle those high impacts of the game. Just keep in mind, understand that building up a foundation like that, a solid foundation, takes time. It takes years. So if you're starting right now and you keep consistent with it, by 20, you'll have an extremely athletic body. With a great foundation, you can build so much on top of it. You increase your potential by so much, decreasing the risk of injury. Of course, injuries can always happen, but working on these 10 exercises that aren't just injury prevention exercises, but exercises that actually make you stronger in your joints, develop your connective tissue, your tendons, your ligaments, make you more resistant to injury, and also increase your athletic potential. If you want to learn more about that, about increasing athletic potential, about tendons, ligaments, how that works with deceleration, injury prevention, make sure to check out this video. That's it for this video, guys. I genuinely hope this helps. If it did, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and leave a like, drop a comment if you have any questions, and also make sure to share this with someone that could benefit from it as well. Stay logged in, especially if you don't feel like it. Peace.